Welcome to DKO Radio. This is episode number 12.
Oui.
We're going to talk about the recent news on how Street Fighter 5 is handling ads in their games, adding ads to their games. And community response has not been so great over the weekend. It's funny because years ago, probably like around two years ago and change, David and I had a talk about the future of fighting games, and I had mentioned to him that I think for the big titles to get even bigger, they need to adopt a free-to-play kind of model to them, right? And one thing I didn't foresee really with the free-to-play is having the ads that all the free-to-play games have, like on your phones and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And not that Street Fighter 5 is a game that is free to play, but it's just something I really didn't foresee. I'm like, oh yeah, ads and stuff like all over the place, like like I didn't. It just wasn't something that came to mind at all when I thought about it. I was thinking more from a business standpoint, but not in the way where it came to like really, really making as much, like squeezing money as much as you can out of it. David, you want to run us through your thoughts on
Yeah, absolutely. Remember the text that I sent you? I think you wasn't seeing it yet. And I was like, yo, what's up? Sorry, Ali agrees with me. I was like, yo,
what's
bro,
up,
what's up with
Ali?
all this, all these crazy ads? I was like, it feels insane. And you're like, no, I haven't seen it. I was like, for the one that triggered me the most was like, I wanted to show you a player, right? Like a player, and you know how they show both players? Like both people playing?
Hmm.
Like the people, not the character, right?
Okay,
And
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, yeah, and I was like, yo, I was gonna show you who it was, and then when I'm gonna show, boom, a big ass, what? Buy this, Ali, Ali got scared when I did that. Buy this,
He's probably playing. Is he playing Street Fighter right now? He's mad at the
nah.
ads.
He was like, oh, buy this on sale, 70% off, 11 items, something, and I was like, fuck, I was like, and then by the time it went back, the match already started, like it literally said fight, and the match started. I'm like,
Yeah.
shit, I was like, damn, I was like, what is this? Did I just got commercials on my live stream? Like,
Mhm.
or something like
Yeah.
that, like an ad? And that definitely was like, ooh, not a good taste. Or at least for a first impression, I was like, no, what the fuck is happening here, man?
So before we continue, like I wanna actually, because this is one of the things that I don't understand. Like I think they just kind of did the laziest, easiest, cheapest way possible to show ads. Because in my head, I'm like, well, why don't they this? Why don't they that? And we'll go into like listing down like ideas for them, since we're a tiny YouTube channel right now, but we know the three people that
They're
watch our
huge.
videos are all Capcom people.
And Blizzard.
Yeah, all the yeah, it's Blizzard, Capcom, like all the developers. They look at our stuff, right? It has to be them, right?
Exactly.
So we'll
Yeah.
go into what they could have done to stop having all this negative feedback from the community. But the biggest thing is how it looks. All these
Yeah.
characters look like they have really bad mods of that, like made of like if somebody just was like, yo, it'd be cool. I want to be decked out in the Pro Tour logo all over my character.
No,
Let me mod it.
actually.
Yeah, for no reason. Like no, like there's mods that it's just like no reason. Like you don't
Yeah.
really see the reason in it. I want
Yeah.
all blue Ryu, like completely blue. Like it just feels like it's one of those
A blue
random
McCree.
occurrences. Yeah. So there's like it's like it's just so off because it's like these characters, they're not made to have logos like that. Their
No.
personalities, their designs, their
Yeah.
almost 30 plus years for the most part of lore that comes with how they act as people and all that stuff, and well, as
I think the
fictional
more
people.
so I think the most that hit me from what you said that too is that because it also came out of nowhere. You know how mods come out of nowhere. No one asked them for that.
Mhm.
But they just do it. Like that Blue Rio, we're gonna use that Blue Rio as an example, right? And no one asked them, but they made it. You know?
Mhm.
But fuck it, it's there. There's no trailer for it or nothing. That's how it feels like it. It feels like shit, okay, this is a thing now.
Yeah. Um well, when it comes to like when I'm really thinking about because it comes out of nowhere and it really makes me go, well then why? Why would this be a thing? Like, and all I could really think of is it has to be the
Money.
state of, yeah, not even money, just the state of their money. Like how much money, whatever money they're making isn't enough to not have that be a thing. Like,
Yeah, 100%.
can people turn off the ads? Yes, cool, they can turn them off, right? Because the rewards aren't even that great. You get 8 to 12
Oh my God.
uh extra fight money
Eight.
per
This is a
match.
single number. A
A-
single number.
And I
Eight.
think, dude, it's been a really long time since I played Street Fighter, but I think you get like 50 per match.
Oh.
So it's basically like if you play like 5 matches, it's like you played 6 matches. I don't know, like it's it's
If you
just
win, it's some shit.
almost 6 matches, right? It's like such a minuscule amount of time to have those distracting characters like uh like be on your screen.
Mm-hmm.
And
Ugly.
yeah, and it's ugly. They're placed in such random places, like they have clothes and stuff. What and tattoos, like Guile's tattoos,
Dude, it looks so stupid.
and
Like, I'm gonna be right now. It looks stupid as
like
fuck.
who has those? Like even designers, like for clothes. Like let's say you got like fucking Hugo Boss is like the closest thing to it, right? Or like what are like I'm thinking about like clothing companies that have had popular clothes that are like ugly, like
Yeah,
that really like their shit over everything, like
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 Supreme
all
or
they need
something
is
like
to do is like have like a Gucci version of like somebody's like shirt.
that. Oh my god. Yo, Birdie will have that shit because the belt, the Gucci
Nah,
belt.
dude, the fucking Bodega Rashid. The
Oh
Bodega
my
Rashid
god.
shirt like has like a billion Capcom Pro Tour logos on him.
I think the worst one was like how in going into back how bad it looks, right? Two things that hits me the most. It looks like a bad Photoshop, right?
Mhm.
Like a complete bad Photoshop. Like literally someone grabbed the model, they undersized that big ass logo. They didn't make a new one or nothing. They literally grabbed that logo and they just compressed it to the diamond that it could be, and they stamp it on a top layer in Photoshop. If you
Yeah.
don't know, Photoshop goes by layers, and that was it, dude.
And what's funny is like I don't think anybody's really realizing why it looks bad too. Is because like those little logos don't give a fuck about the stage lighting or anything like that, they
They're
don't give a
just
fuck.
there, bro.
They're just there.
They're just there to show a statement.
They don't give a fuck if it's nighttime, evening, indoors, outdoors. They don't give a fuck. They're
Snow.
just there.
And that's true. And then the other thing that I think it hits me, these are iconic characters, right? And I'm gonna assume that some people are attached to certain characters or how they look, specifically if they change too much or not, right? Like there's history there, right? And these are
Mhm.
iconic characters that people be like, well, it doesn't change their gameplay, so what's up? It doesn't matter. It doesn't make it more different, more powerful. Yeah, it doesn't matter. But it matters to people because that's been their staple character or not. People like Justin once said, hey, when they mentioned this Capcom Pro Tour thing, he was like, I don't care much about it because as long as I can pick my Menat in the school uniform that I like, he already has a preference into
Mhm.
that, and it's for a reason. And if that shit is gonna be stamped in there, it's gonna take out the reason that he wants that specific,
Yeah.
you know, skin or whatever. Or it might not be that drastic, but it's still gonna be in the back of my, oh, it just looks stupid because it looks bad, you know. And we haven't gone to the ideas of it, but if it was a better version of it, then people wouldn't mind as much. I
Yeah,
think
like
at least.
I think the one that kind of makes the most sense right now is and I hate that they did this because I talked about this with you a long time ago that I thought that whoever's the top player on the internet should have a championship belt on them. And basically, like some of the skins for those logos, I guess they don't make the logo quota for the characters, so they add a belt to them. Like they don't stick enough on their arms and legs and shit like that and their thighs, so that they added like a championship belt to like Abigail, Urian, who else? I think most likely Zangief. Like on wrestlers, it makes sense
Yeah.
Maybe on Boxer it makes sense.
Yeah.
Maybe even on Sagat because he technically has a style that's like like anything that's more relatable to real life championship fighting sports.
Yeah.
Uh, it kind of makes sense because it's like it's actually a belt that's like it's a model of something. It's not just a sticker, but it has a sticker in it. But at least it's like has a little bit extra thought on it than putting like plastering two logos like that look like just random ass stickers on your thighs. Like the
It
front of
looks
your
like
thighs too. It's not even on the side. People like it's not strategically
it's
placed
not
anywhere. It's just
practical.
yeah.
Yeah, it feels like those lollipop tattoos after you finish and then you fucking put it in the fucking hand somewhere random.
Imagine coming across this the first time. You don't know anything about like the FGC, but you like Street Fighter. You're not sure about the Capcom Pro Tour, but you heard of it, but you haven't looked into it. And the first time you're coming across that shit is fucking Akuma. And you get Raging Demon, and that fucking logo comes on his back, and you're like, what the fuck is this?
Bro,
Because
you
it
know what we
has it
got
there.
like? But you know what we got like instead of the 10 symbol, it's the cat come pro to like, ping! You know the
David,
background, the big background.
David, they have that.
No, but the big background, not his back. Not his back.
Yeah,
Not his
yeah,
back.
yeah, yeah.
Like the background,
Oh
like,
no,
yo,
dude!
shit, 20%
Bro,
off.
every hit is a logo instead of like a
No,
damage.
a promotion. A promotion, 10% off for characters. Stages. 20% off the season pass.
Zowie monitors.
Use code CAP Pro Tour 2018. I don't know, it's just how stupid it looks. And that's the thing about advertisement. They have to be dumb and silly and obnoxious in order to stick with you, you know? It has
Yeah.
to be like that. But even this portion, like you mentioned, a tie tattoo, like it's just there. Like, it looks bad. It looks really bad,
And you know what's funny?
think
Like
it's-
they're kind of when you think about what your rewards are for having those on, it's like a lose-lose for Capcom because like let's say if it stays right now, people are going, well, this isn't enough to make me
Not
want
gonna
to
use
keep
it.
these logos. I'm not going to use them. But then
So
if they
why
go
do the extra
higher,
work?
but then if they go higher, then the people that don't do it are going to be like, well, that's really unfair that they get so much fight money for
I'm
doing
gonna
this.
use it. But I think it should be like that. Fuck it. No, I think it should be like, yo, you get so much fight money that you wouldn't even think twice of using it. You get me?
Yeah.
Think about fight money. You don't lose anything. There's still stuff, and we talk about
And
this in
it's-
a couple of episodes. There's still stuff that you cannot buy with fight money. So it's not a losing thing, If you want everything, you gotta spend certain money on it. There's certain things you can't obtain without, real money.
I would understand
So-
this. Yeah, I would understand this more if 90% of the like hundreds of skins they have were available through Fight Money, but they're not.
Yeah. Yeah,
they're,
but they're
they're not. They just like they did a couple, like a handful of them that you can attain with Fight Money, and then that was it. They were just like, no, this one's premium because you could take his jacket off or some stupid shit, or you can add a jacket on. So
Or rings
that's
on the
why
side of your
it's not, attainable
be higher,
through
that's it.
grinding.
It should be higher. I feel that if this Pro Tour, even though they mentioned, hey, we took your feedback, I think this was just a beta, dude. Like, this is my positive intent, right? It's a beta. They just slapped it because there was no announcement for this. They just did it. Fuck it, right? So I think they was like, fuck it, let's just do it. This is going to be a beta of it. Let's see how people react. And we take all that feedback and we continue to make it better, but it's still going to stay there, right? How they mentioned. So I'm hoping that it gets a drastic change, like an overhaul, like that it's not even in the game.
So here's my idea on a smart. This will cost more, but if they do this for, let's say, Street Fighter 6, this is the way to go. The practical.
Wait, before you mention it.
Okay.
Think about that. You in the board right now. You seen that meme, right? That you're in the office and you're telling them, hey, what should we do? And some certain people are saying certain things, and now it's your turn to say.
Nah, bro, I'm cuffing myself. I'm cuffing myself to the dude that throws you out before I even say it. Here's my idea. Click, click. I handcuffed on, and I'm ready to say it. So the main menu is really underutilized for information. If they want to advertise for their pro tour, if they want to advertise for tournaments happening and where it's going to be streamed, where it's going to be broadcasted, where if they want to catch it live, they can go to whatever city, state, country, or whatever. All that stuff could be on the main menu. All that information. And it's not even like maybe like one of those side-scrolling electronic things, like even on the top or the bottom, that just tells you information as it scrolls. And
like Fortnite.
It could give you websites or like it could just they could be giving all this information. They could do that for maybe like a self. They're like fighting games in general has always had a thing about like it's hard for people to get into because it's hard for these games for people to understand or fathom like how these games are meant to be played at a high level. So maybe they could even start their own, YouTube series tutorial if they don't put it in game on how stuff works, on new tech and all that stuff, like that they could hire somebody like a pro player or two pro players to gather information and go, hey, this is new tech of the week, blah 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 blah. Come see it at our YouTube. Like I don't know, they could add like little trailers of videos that's up. All that stuff could be on the main menu. It just like before you get into the game, not slapped onto like your beloved characters. And
you think they should still also have it on the character though, even though like that?
No, if they do it on the character, it should be like maybe one logo and on either on a silly part that's iconic, like fucking on Sagat's eye patch has the thing, or I don't know, like it has to be well made where it'll make people laugh and go, yeah, that's funny, or that was clever, clever, not just going, man, these are just kind of just fucking pasted on. Yeah, or maybe even have specific skins for them. Like if you want them to, maybe you could do one pack of everybody that's in the game that has a pack of esport related kind of skin, like how Red Bull had those silly Red Bull like hip hop Ryu and all that stuff. Like it could be that, and that one specific skin could be the you put patches and shit all over their jackets and to have those logos and shit like that. Something really geared toward making it look not out of place.
Like how you can customize the dojo, like that, you think?
No, not. I didn't mean it more like that. I just meant like the skin itself. Like, I don't know about customization, like, because I don't know, like, you're not getting money from the advertisement, so they won't give you power to choose like a lot of like I want like 5 KFC logos as opposed to these 3 gasoline company logos. I don't know. I don't even know what gasoline company is. Yeah, Pennzoil or Beyond Petroleum. They I don't think they need you to have that kind of control on who they're advertising and how much and all that stuff. But okay, go ahead, because I got one more idea that they could do. But you go ahead.
So you're saying that you still want this to be on the game?
I'm saying it doesn't bother me if it makes sense. Almost like So here's the other idea I have, right? Because like you get loading screens, like it's not gonna hurt anybody if during the loading screen, ads are running or ad runs, because maybe you could put the ad there like on the corner with like the logo screen having something also that's really that makes sense, like those stupid tips you get, or maybe your own statistics in a way, or something like that, like or beautiful artwork, but also there's like some kind of fucking logo for an ad or something, it just happens to be there. I don't think it'll take that much away from the actual gameplay. But the other thing I would say is, like, if you want to make the logos actually look genuine, you start thinking about how you make the stages, and the stages have to be very real worldy when it comes to, like, let's say, like, if you want a stage that's like being in New York Times Square, cool, there's all these monitors there's all these places that could have advertisements on their buildings and all these lights and all this other stuff. Or maybe like, you got that hot dog street vendor in that other New York
Yeah.
stage that's in Street Fighter. Maybe on that guy's vending machine, like the hot dog vending thing, there's an ad there for like something real. Like real
Yeah.
fucking like Oscar Mayer hot dogs or
Yeah. That would be perfect.
yeah, like if you got cars if you got cars in your stages, maybe you make it like a fucking legit a Buick, like you put the Buick logo on the car, or you make it a style of car, like like any of that kind of stuff could, like, if they make it clever, if they make it make sense, I don't think it takes the player out of their being the immersion part of it. I don't think it takes a lot out of it.
Yeah, I definitely agree. You said a lot of things that I was going to probably say in between. You finished with that one? With the last one?
Yeah, but
okay.
maybe like also like those stages too. Like if you select them to be a preference, that's how you get them. Because like let's say you're in Shadowloo base, what the fuck Bison cares about, like unless he wants his like fucking his troops all like pepped up on like Red Bull or something like that to keep them going.
Psycho Power has been uncovered.
Psycho Power Cola.
Mountain Dew.
But even like that, let's say like there's another section. Let's say there's another section of the Shadowloo base that's maybe the quarters of these troopers, and in the quarters or in the break room of them, like there's vending machines, and in these vending machines, that's where you put the fucking advertisement, or like in the posters of their dorms or whatever, like like maybe they have posters in there that's a sexy lady, and the sexy lady's holding some kind of ad, because it I don't think it's that hard for stuff like this to happen, for it to make sense.
Yeah. Like, at least to be smart about it.
Yeah.
To be a little bit more smart about it, yeah. And I feel that, I know they're not experts in every case, right? Because they're just Capcom, right? They're not experts in every formal way. But, if you just take a glance at any other game, in terms of advertisement in between their games, let's take a look at NBA 2K, whatever. Just pick any 2K. And in the court, when the thing shows the score and all that stuff, those little frames that you mentioned, like the moving messages, it says sponsors, like real sponsors, like not like Capcom. I'm not saying Capcom Pro is not a real sponsor, whatever, but like real companies will be sponsored there, dude. Like billboards of that thing, names, legitimate names. In other games, like we'll have it like in the big building, we'll have like a Sears, like just an example, it will have it right there. That even if it's not too perfect, it's still in a place that makes sense, right? It's in a building in the city will have that. And basketball, those things will show commercials. That makes more sense. So they didn't have to look that far, or that, they can still look into the genre of video game and still be like, how do these people do advertisement in other places? Oh, we can do that. You get me? You don't see LeBron James in the NBA 2K wearing a Capcom Pro logo in his shirt.
Yeah,
right? It wouldn't make sense.
What's funny? What I'm imagining is like they looked way too into how MMA fighters have them, and they're all logoed up on their jerseys,
and
their trunks, their robes, and their all that stuff, and somebody just went like, "Hey, these guys are fighters, right? Let's just fucking put the advertisement on them. Just put it on them, right? They do it in MMA. Just put it on them."
That's fucking stupid. Oh, but they don't spray paint their body with a fucking logo on that shit. Like,
they used to until they made it like something that's not allowed anymore.
Yeah. The people get blind. Oh, ink in my eyes. Capcom Pro Tour, thanks. But I feel that, so this is nothing new, right? Going back, obviously, you're doing this because the game is not free, right? And they need money. So it's not desperate. It's still an idea, It's still an idea. But once again, the outcome of it is not enough for it to be an idea. So why take the effort to just shoot it now, Instead of being, hey, we're doing an announcement, guys. We're thinking of making this. We're gonna roll it out for a week. You guys let me know what you think. Collect as much data you can. Social media travels at the speed of light. and then that's it. Take it out for a week. I feel like that's the Fortnite mentality. Fortnite does something, they put it there, boom, doesn't cost anything. People use it. People complain they like it. They measure that if it's groundbreaking or not, and then they keep it or take it. You know,
Yeah.
it shouldn't be that hard. Think about it. You're not changing the mechanic. We're talking about features in terms of how it looks. You know, not game-changing features. You know, and you're not changing frame data or anything. So, or if you feel that it changed frame data in the terms of advertisement, then of course you'd remove it or anything. I feel if they would have done it, that approach would have been better, because then the backlash, it'll be like, well, it's still beta, you know, it doesn't matter, it's gonna get better.
I think
You know, it's still beta.
it's funny because I still think like I don't know where, because there's a fine line between making yourself feel like look like a vulnerable property, right? Because like
Hmm.
if they're clear cut and go, hey guys, you guys you saw how much Tekken was making for their Tekken World Tour, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got like a lot more prize money. We got 250K. Like, if you guys want to still have that next year, just letting you know, that's why we got these ads in here to help us keep that going. If you want to keep that
Done.
going, you know,
Yeah.
like this is why. You know, but the thing is,
Yeah.
like, if you say that so clear cut, maybe when it comes to other companies are investing in that, they're like, well, why is it why are you doing this? Isn't it not making
Yeah.
money? Is it
You have to
not
explain.
is it like not something I should like risk my money on to have you like, you know, to
Yeah.
endorse you guys or any of that sort? And you know, like that's where I'm like thinking, like, is that why they're just not really open
Vocal.
or
Yeah.
with that kind of
Pride.
information?
Could be
Pride too,
pride
yeah, I
too,
can
dude.
see that.
Dude, definitely pride, you know, because I'm not trying to say it like that, but maybe an American company would be more like, I'm not saying that we're not, but it would be more like very upfront, like, hey guys, put this money here, so this is gonna help you guys get more prize money, just like that, like done. And you'd be like, fuck it, all right, fuck it. Oh well, I don't want that, but they still do it because you know where is it heading at.
Yeah.
Right now, we don't know where this is heading at, and a lot of people concerned was like, oh, I'm concerned to see another. Now it's Capcom Pro Tour, but what is the future may hold? Is gonna be another logo? Like, think
Well,
about
it is scary because this this could be the start of something that goes way beyond just Street Fighter. You know, they could, like,
yeah,
just like how other companies always all these companies look at each other's practices and go, can we get away with that?
not Capcom.
You know, can we get away with that? Well, you know, like, I'm not even necessarily meaning all the good stuff. I just mean in general, like on how to make money, on how to make money.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
let's copy that idea. Yeah,
so
battle royale.
I don't think this is the end. Like, if this keeps going with Street Fighter, I really don't think this will be the end of it for a lot
Yeah.
of other types of games.
So I'm gonna tell you a concern, and then because I haven't mentioned what would I like for them to do it, right? How I would
Yeah.
like for them to do it, like to fix it. So my another concern was like, who because you know it's gonna be someone else that's not gonna be Capcom. But who they're gonna choose, how they choose who's gonna sponsor, who measure, who qualifies for that, right? Because didn't we had, if this is to support the community, right? Or is it to support the company, right? Because think about this, right? If it is to support the community, then you have to be a little bit more open on who can you put your logo in your game, right? Because didn't we had a couple of years ago, I think it was an adult industry promoting players to go to tournaments, but they got no, we can't do that because of their name. I think it was Pornhub or something like that, or I don't
Uh,
remember,
it
or something Bambro, something
you
like that.
I think it was YouPorn. I think it was YP,
Youporn or
Team
whatever.
YP.
Correct. So, and this industry is huge, right? This industry has mad money, right? Like technically they don't need to do this, but they're just trying to promote people, right? Because players or whatever, they can get any sponsor they can get because that helps a lot, traveling and all this shit. And they give him a lot of shit. You remember that, right? They give him a lot of shit
Yeah,
for
there
that.
was like even
Like
like
cigarettes, e-cigarettes.
like the brand itself didn't was like, hey man, this is like just something else we're trying to do. We're not like
Taking
associate
over.
like we're not really like what's it called? Like really, they weren't really pushing the whole like, hey, porn's awesome, porn,
Invested.
porn, 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 porn. You
Yeah.
know, they were just going like, hey, this we're trying out like sponsoring some people,
Yeah.
and they have our brand, but you know,
Yeah.
it's fucking we don't got they don't got guys over there fucking selling you porn
Yeah.
dildos, you know, like
Yeah. Yeah, and the players didn't even have anything like emblems or logo like you mentioned,
yeah, it
anything that
was.
symbolized that. It was
Yeah, it
just a
was just
name,
like the
you know.
colors, I think, maybe, and maybe a
Yeah.
jersey, but like it still wasn't
That's
like
it.
really clear. It wasn't like, you know,
It
it
had a
wasn't.
symbol though, if I recall.
Yeah,
I don't think
yeah,
it had a
like that's what I
symbol.
mean. It wasn't
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
like the actual name of the brand wasn't there, you
Correct.
know, which I thought,
And then go ahead.
which I thought it was just a little kind of overblown, honestly. Like it
I
to
think it
not
was
associate.
100%.
It's not like the Capcom Pro Tour is run by like like all it's like a moral it's not run by the fucking Catholic Church and all of their decision making comes straight from the Pope in Rome, you
Or
know. It
any
was
church, or any church, right? In general.
yeah, I'm just using them as an example. I'm
Yeah,
just
it's a
saying like
good example for tyranny. I mean,
but yeah, it's like so like for that to be such a big deal was just kind of weird, but
yeah,
I guess they had to make sure that no ill will comes
yeah,
from any sponsor, like potential, just like the potential of any like group going over to protest you as a brand because you're
yeah,
letting some fucking kids, or well,
yeah.
not even kids, they were adults,
Uh-huh.
uh get like money to be able to
Sponsor. Yeah,
compete.
yeah. It's not even money for them directly. It's just to be able to go there and visit this place and be able to travel and all that shit.
Yeah,
And then they did the same thing with e-cigarettes, right? Which the vapor thing, the
yeah.
whatever. Big deal about it, whatever. So the whole thing to
And
tie
it's
that
funny
up
too,
is
because that got so
like,
big. Like there was a
yeah,
lot of e-cig ads, and they
you
didn't
have a
affect me
man there.
because I don't give a fuck about smoking. I don't smoke. Never. Like I
Me
tried it
neither.
once when I was a kid and was like, yeah, this is kind of dumb. It doesn't do
Disgusting.
anything and it's gross and it tastes bad.
Yeah.
Give me another one. No, wait,
Uh-huh.
wait. That's not what I want. It's my
Well, I
brain
can't
is
stop.
tricking me. No, yeah, but like it's like if you're not into it, you're not into it. I don't think it's gonna
Yeah.
change anything.
And it goes back to whole America being very moral whenever they decide they want to be moral, right? But then again, to tie this all back in, right? Like who they choose, who sponsor or not, right? So back, is Capcom gonna have a lineage or like, hey, who can we sponsor or not? Or are we taking open doors to whoever? Yo, I want to be in your game. Yeah, I don't mind being in your game as long as people use your feature. Yeah, I don't mind doing that. Is it gonna be? That's what it makes me feel like. Is it gonna be for the company or is it gonna be for the players? Or is it gonna be through the company and then they dictate how it goes to the player? You get me? Like where is that line? I guess they're gonna give us more clarity. But that's the scary part for me, like sponsorship, like, who can be or who not, who you consider to be good enough to sponsor or be in your game as a stupid logo or not.
Well,
And maybe does
honestly,
that open doors for other people?
but honestly, I don't even really think that matters as much as long as it's in a way tastefully done. If it's tastefully done,
Nah, it does, dude. Because
like,
Capcom
well,
Pro Tour
but
you
what
only
would bother
see
you?
like
Like,
e-cigarettes, right?
what would
Not
bother
bother
you?
me. Not
I'm
me. I'm
saying,
talking about. Oh, okay.
but like,
Like what would bother
you're,
me?
but are you bringing it up because it feels like you're bringing it up
A concern.
because because somebody out there will have a problem with a certain brand or something.
Yes, because I feel it's gonna go like that. Oh, if all these brands are in the game, why my sponsorship cannot be there? Why they cannot take a piece of that pie? You get me? If everyone is being taken a piece of that pie, like what? Like what would be the rule to that? Always someone's gonna feel either left
Oh
out.
wait,
If it's
but
gonna be globally.
are you talking about a company then?
Yeah, like a company, let's say they sponsor anything. Let's put EG, just for an example, right? Like whatever EG or whatever, or EG sponsored by I don't know chairs, like this gaming chairs, Razer or whatever. And they be like, oh well, we're doing all this thing, but Razer couldn't be part of the logo in the Capcom Pro Tour, in the game thing that Capcom Pro Tour is doing, the advertisement. And people are like, but why not Razer? Like why? Like there's gonna be a fine line of why.
I
Is it because of morals? Is it because of that?
I really don't think that's something that's like gonna be an issue for anybody that's not on anybody other than those companies. And honestly, like who gives a fuck? Like
They
like
do.
yeah, but that's not us. Like the players don't give a fuck. It's like, oh, no razor ads. I whatever. Next time be cup noodles. Next time have a billion
Final Fantasy
people
does
like
that.
eating your food. Like, and then you'll pump them enough money to have it be your ads in there. Because essentially it's all gonna be about money. Like the only way I
Yeah.
could see it not being about money and then being about a brand if it is about a brand that's publicizing themselves that could potentially be in a negative light towards the masses, like with
Yep.
porn or with like even like cigarettes, guns,
E-cigarettes.
like like gun companies, like weapons
NRA.
of mass destruction, shit like that. Like if it's not that shit,
Sponsored by Nuke Your Town.
yeah, it's sponsored by the first legal marijuana
Fallout.
distributor. Like it's
Yo,
not
that's
gonna
gonna have
be
a million people.
it's not gonna be like that. So
Yeah.
I
I hear
really
you.
don't think it's something that's gonna be an issue to anybody other than the company. And if that issue does arise, it's gonna be about money. It's gonna be like if it's one gaming company over another, this gaming company gave us more money to put their ads in there. I don't think it's gonna
Yeah.
be anything other than that.
Got you. Money talks eventually, so.
Yeah.
And then the best way that I feel that they can figure this out, right? Hear me, I had two ideas. Is either, obviously the logo's got to be different, in terms of the shape. It cannot be a shrink down version of the logo. That shit doesn't work. I'm not the best Photoshopper in the world, but even I can be like, yo, that shit looks fucking wrong. Not just ugly, it just looks wrong. Like the shape of it, everything.
Immediately
Everything, the
looks.
shape, everything.
It looks like it's like, hey, look at the Capcom Pro Tour Snapchat filter.
It looks bad. It looks bad. It doesn't even does justice even for that, right? Like it just looks bad. And we talked about before, like maybe doing it under the health bar, maybe doing on like you mentioned the bell. The bell would be so cool, right? Or whatever. This ways around it. I think this is just the lazy. This is literally the laziest. Maybe no time or effort they could be put into it, and they had to finish it.
Cheap,
That's what it
easy.
feels.
That's our yeah. Cheap, easy. What's the cheapest, easiest way we can just fucking vomit this out?
What we put the logo? Is it gonna take time? No, man. We just shrink it and put it there. Okay, do it.
Well, all right, but
Like,
we
that's how it
need
feels
to.
like.
But boss, we need to think out strategic places where we can put these all smartly into each character. Do they got thighs? Yeah, stick them on the thighs. Do they got arms? Stick them on the arms. They got chest?
Yeah, it's not even
Stick them
on
on
the
the
boobs
chest.
or the ass. Like it's not even known. Like girls don't even have it like that, right? Like at least, even as sleazy as it would look, fuck it. Put it on Laura's left tit. So fuck it. People will see that shit.
One logo on each one, so it looks like Nick's.
Yeah, Mika's butt. So then they revamped the whole camera view. Whatever. And then I think the best way to fix it, other than that, would be.
Sure. I imagine they changed that view with the ass slap, but they zoom into that.
Just for
They
that.
zoom in like
Yeah.
super close, just to the logo part of the cheek.
Oh my god! Like the obvious part, like.
Yeah,
so
it goes
funny.
all the way forward, like how YouTubers like to emphasize on a funny part. They always
Something.
zoom in randomly in their face.
So funny. Shit, that would work. That would take a lot of work. And then, once again, taking from for the company that is doing the best in advertisement in their own game is Epic Games, right? Fuck it, bring a battle pass to Street Fighter. Make it free, and make a battle pass for it. You pay $10, or rank enough fight money that you can buy your own battle pass. And you get this crazy rewards. All this weird costume they do in every other month, and no one can get them because they're timely strict. You have your battle pass, and you level up by playing rank or not, or story. Or hey, this week if you play story mode, this amount of matches, you get a level in your battle. Whatever the case may be, and you rank up that battle pass, you get those rewards. I think that's the best way to sponsor that, dude. And that's the best way to get money flowing into a game that the money is declining. Like, literally, fighting it, like we mentioned, they don't have a growing, revenue. But if they do a battle pass version, dude, if you reach level 5 in your battle pass by playing rank matches or whatever the hell may be, then you get that Captain Commando whatever character, you know,
Yeah.
and it keeps unlocking. Or maybe that Capcom Pro Tour logo looks legit when it's level 100. It looks incredible, like
Well,
it looks thick as
yeah.
fuck. You know?
Yeah, I think it's definitely not just them, but I think a lot of companies already are looking into what they've done with their game.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking like with the trend of the other than the trend of that game style itself, I think what's gonna outlast that battle royale type of style is its practices on keeping
Battle
people
pass,
interested in their game.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Because think about this: if you spend $10, how much was a costume? Like $15? Some shit like
And
that. They were
always
like,
be
were
on
epic.
beta. Street Fighter
Yeah,
6 is
that's the
gonna
best
have to be
excuse.
in beta for 6 years.
Yeah, that's good because you can't complain. It's on
Yeah,
beta.
it's not the finished
Um,
product, guys.
I think it right. Correct me if I'm wrong. There's a costume or several costumes that goes into the double digits, right? Like $15 or something in Street Fighter. Sorry for that.
I
Right?
don't remember. I honestly don't remember, but I think
Or
most of them are
something
like
like that.
$8 or maybe less.
Okay, so something like that. So $10, maybe the premium. Maybe
Well, I think because
I'm
it's
thinking
older.
Capcom
I think
Pro
it's because it's older. Like I think like if you're thinking that much, the packs come like that now.
Yeah,
Like if you
correct.
get
So think
full
about the.
packs.
But if someone buys that, right? Someone buys that, they just play with the character for a little bit. They see how horrible everything else is in the game, and then they just stop playing it, right? There's no continuing support for that. But if they do it as the practice of the battle pass with Street Fighter, you pay the $10. That is minimum. That is less than the costume, right? Already, or maybe slightly a little bit more. But you get so much more at the end of the tunnel. But in order to get to the end of the tunnel, what you have to do? Play the fucking game.
Yeah.
You know? And it's not, and you're still gonna get those little rewards like, oh, I'm so close. Like, you know how we talk about, oh, I'm so close to the next loot box. I'm so close to the next, but not
Yeah.
loot box. I'm not talking about loot box. I'm talking reward. I'm so close to get to the level 5 to get that whatever color spray Ryu
Yeah.
thing. Then they're gonna keep playing, dude. You're gonna see them
Yeah.
playing way more, dude.
Yeah, you
And
got
then getting
like
money.
today's games. You need a lot of false um accomplishments.
Hope of accomplishment. Yeah.
Yeah, all these like little bits and pieces of what makes people feel
Placebos.
like you're
Hmm.
almost doing something greater. Almost like,
But there's always something
like
there.
what does
Hmm.
leveling up really mean in like let's say Overwatch? It doesn't mean shit. It just means you play a lot.
No?
But when you see it there, you're like, shit, I'm almost at the next level.
Yeah.
You know?
It's always at the next level because it goes up. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter if you're halfway there. You almost there.
Like
Always.
no matter
You're
how
almost
bad
there.
your games were, something progressed
Mhm.
in the game because you actually played it.
Correct. So in Street Fighter, if there's none of that, you're just gonna be tired of it. Nah, fuck it. Nah, I don't. This fight money shit. I can do nothing with it. Fuck it. You know. But if they do that battle pass, yo, fuck, I lost, but look, I just got this cool color, and now I want to use it. Not color, like an outfit or whatever the case may be. I think they start with outfits will be much, much better. And you can even gain older outfits. You know, if they revamp that whole thing, dude, they're gonna get so much money out
And
in the
they
long
can
run
have
than
tiers
just
of
up front.
And they can have tiers of different kinds of colors of the same
Yeah.
skin. Like I don't know why they
Yeah.
fighting games limit themselves to just skins. Like I remember Street Fighter X Tekken had a really good idea where like you have different colors to choose from on several parts of the characters. Like they
Yeah.
could easily do
Mix and match.
like earning like a black Ryu gloves instead of red ones, and then
Yeah.
having like all these accessorized parts to have like maybe 20-30 colors a piece, and that'll keep that's so much easy content to have for people who want to earn for themselves.
And think
Anyway,
about this, right?
we've
Yeah,
trailed
but
off
that's a
onto
low tiers.
other stuff. We've
No, that's
completely
still the way. That's the way for them to do a better advertisement for the game, to keep the game going forward. That's why I said the Capcom Pro
Yeah.
logo should be the last part of that. So I think that if they implement that, it should be the best part of it.
Well, I'm finished saying what I needed to finish. I don't know if you want to say anything else.
No, I'm just gonna keep tracking to see where this goes, and if to see any other company fighting game related adapts to it.
It definitely feels like something Nintendo would never do.
Absolutely not.
You know
They
what
don't
I
need
mean?
to.
Like
They don't need to.
as backwards as Nintendo. Yeah, Nintendo has money to last them, like to have them lose money for like almost 200 years, and they're still, all
Yep.
right. So
Yep.
yeah, how's that?
So let's see what game adapts to it.
Yeah, let's see. If you guys have any thoughts on this, like, comment, subscribe, and comment to
Yeah,
keep
let
the
us know your
discussion
idea.
going. Yeah, catch us on Twitch randomly. Catch us on YouTube randomly.
YouTube. Yay.
And we'll keep you posted. This is a new kind of way we're trying to podcast right now, just to see how
Mhm.
this works as opposed to doing it through a PC. Last
Yeah.
one we had a hiccup. Hopefully this one doesn't have any hiccups on in terms of
We'll be
audio.
fine.
And yeah, see you later, guys.
Take care, guys.
I'm trying to stop this. There we go. All right, now goodbye.